There it is.
Are you trying to say something, Sam? Because you are muted.
Hello, y'all.
It is a great intro, though.
I'm Billy Dean, and I'm the host of the Hockey on Tap podcast, here with Steven Echeverria and Michael Sandillo, also known as Schwim, the TV thief. And I love this song.
It never goes away.
Get me another sandwich.
Mom, bathroom.
Meatloaf. So what are y'all drinking? I got some.
Man.
Oh my God, I
beer.
can't even open my can. That is quite light beer. I'm drinking what Shrimp drank last week.
Lightest it gets.
Shrimp got it from this. Smells
good old-
wonderful.
A good old night,
Drawn
man.
and quartered. Yeah, drawn and quartered.
Yeah.
Artwork is also very cool. 10%.
Cool.
Not looking forward to work tomorrow. So 10% it is. Let me pour it in my vase. That's how you say it, right? Vase. Is it
I believe
vase,
it's
vase, or
pronounced
vase?
Vase.
Vase. Vase
It's not-
or vase?
Vase. Vase.
It's like maize.
that was
It's
cool.
like corn.
What about you, Schwim?
I'm drinking a
Beer?
skunked beer from
Beer
2019.
again? It's actually
Yeah.
skunked.
I think it
What
is. Maine beer company, Woods and Waters.
Oh,
Because they're supposed
Maine's
the
good.
flavor profile is supposed to be melon, pineapple, and pink grapefruit, and I'm getting nothing.
but skunk.
Yeah, it's over 2 years old, so maybe.
It shouldn't be skunked.
I'm
You
drinking.
must have done something to it.
I don't know.
Poland
You
Spring
taste anything?
Brewery.
Speaking of Maine,
Let's
Is it
go.
Poland
Poland
Spring
Spring
Maine?
Brewery.
Yeah.
yeah, right? Isn't that from Maine? Isn't that
Yeah.
brewed in Maine? The
It's brewed
fresh
in Maine.
springs of Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, are we gonna
So,
get to what's on
I-
tap?
No, I'm Bill.
Here's our. Oh, Bill, are we
No,
gonna get to
Bill-
what's on tap? And here's a
Shouldn't
quick
the music still be playing?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Hold on. That Sam Wu doesn't know what he's doing.
I don't recall Bill having such a difficult time breathing when he talks, but regardless, it's a good impression.
I got tears in my eyes because of the Hanky Panky ceremony of my favorite
man.
goaltender of all time, Hank.
Oh,
was-
that's what that means. Hanky panky
Did you
ceremony.
shed a tear?
I didn't watch it. I'm sorry
I
to
had
say.
some
And
dessert.
not
I
on
didn't watch
purpose.
it
I
either.
was very sad.
It wasn't on purpose. Like I actually wanted to, but I wasn't able to get to a TV.
I just
Was there lots of
continued
hanky panky?
living my life.
Oh man,
Are we gonna make fun of Billy Dean all night?
I don't know. Eventually, we might get to something.
I guess
important.
we could.
That's if he ever shows up. He's got 20 minutes to show up. But I don't know. I'm not buying that he's
Yeah,
going to
what-
be on by 8:30.
What's the over/under of him showing up or not?
Coaching his high school team like a loser.
What was that picture that Brett sent? Was that a real?
But that was
from,
from
like, a
long
while
time
ago?
Yeah, that was from years
that's
ago.
hilarious.
There's
They're being
52
outshot
shots.
54.
No, they were out shooting the other team 52-4.
I
In
thought
fact,
they were the home team.
in fact, I think it might have been Shorts guy's team. Who does he coach?
Oh my God.
High Point, something, Vernon, something or other. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it might have been them.
And they were
Or
only up
it
1-0.
actually- Yeah, it was insane. I remember. I think I don't remember what the shot total ended up being, but it was ridiculous. A ridiculous amount of saves by whoever that goalie was. I wonder what he's
Did
doing
you guys
these days.
get my show notes? Did you get my show notes? I don't know where my
Not at
show notes
all.
are.
Devils were scored on by Austin Matthews. It looks like.
Ruh-roh.
Is that a second goal? Is that a second
Yeah.
goal?
And
He's
there's
got
Toronto
deuces?
fans in the house. They can't go to their own games, so they're. Oh wait, no, they are in Toronto, right? They actually have some fans there.
That's weird.
They got 500.
500 fans. That's crazy that they just went straight 0. They didn't even like cut it down to half or
No.
whatever. They're just like, no, none.
Oops.
Sam Reinhart's got a hat trick in the second period for Florida.
Wow.
Florida is not just winning games,
They're like
but
destroying
absolutely
people.
destroying teams.
Well, they are
I
playing
didn't think-
Columbus, so this is kind of expected.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. But at the same time, like, I knew that they had a solid 4 lines, but it's just every single person on that team is scoring in
Everyone's
bunches.
producing. Crazy.
Yeah, they got a solid roster. I don't know what. Well, I do know what can potentially be their downfall in the playoffs, and I'm sure you know what as well. But I don't know. Right now, I don't think they really have much of a weakness. Until the playoffs, where somebody was notoriously
Go ahead.
lackluster, to say the least. I mean, they do
They had
have
a
some. I mean, they could abandon. I mean, they have a pretty decent, backup in Spencer Knight, who has. He played in last year's playoffs, right? Did he get a start or two?
Yeah, he played. They had 3 different starters in that series.
That's right.
They had
Bobrovsky,
Bobrovsky,
Knight, and
who they
went to Knight
got
late,
rid of
right?
after the first game. Yeah, they went to they lost game 1, benched Bobrovsky right after game 1 for some reason. Went to Drieger. I think he won and then lost, and then they went back to Bob. And I forget how it is, but it was like they played 3 goalies. They did all 3 of those goalies started a game. And I think Spencer Knight ended up winning a game for him, and then they went to him, and then he lost.
That was Tampa, right?
Yeah, against
They played
Tampa.
Tampa.
Yeah.
This beer is delicious, by the way.
Everything they
It's
have
like
is
not
I haven't
hot at
had a bad beer by them. Everything they
Have
make
I
is
don't-
delicious.
Have I had this before? No, I have to look this up.
You
You know
might
what?
have.
So,
Might
I
have
guess
had it a while
we'll
ago.
continue on Todd, since I have no idea where William had as far as direction of this podcast goes. I will start off by let's talk about what's coming up next weekend in the NHL All-Star Game. I guess the first news, right, is Batherson is out, replaced by Tkachuk, correct? And I did not. So I heard that Roman Josi and Evgeny Kuznetsov were also named to the All-Star Game. I'm just going to check.
They're replacing 2
McKinnon.
guys, aren't they?
McKinnon is out. Josi will replace McKinnon, which is strange because remember when we were talking about how they have no they had one defenseman in that group, particular group, and we're like, I wonder what. And now McKinnon's hurt. Fox is out too. I was not aware of Fox.
I didn't know that either.
Kuznetsov, which is that's not a great swap for the Metro there. But whatever. But the one bit of news that I was reading about was these 2 new skills events that they decided to add.
Oh God, how horrible is this going to be?
First of all, I was reading on it, and they gave no description whatsoever, and they just kind of said the names of it. And I'm like, well, how the hell is anybody supposed to know what the heck these events are? So what they are, and apparently it's going to be like in the middle of Vegas, right? Like in the fountains of the Bellagio, supposedly. Fountain Face-Off and NHL 21 and 22. So NHL 21 and 22 seems kind of interesting. It looks like there's just like a big screen of a deck of cards in front of these guys. I don't know how far away they are, but they're supposed to get to 21 in the least amount of shots. So I guess 2, right? It would be your tops.
Yeah.
The participants aren't named for that. And then the face-off thing, they're in the middle of the fountain. They apparently have to take a boat there, which, I mean, I find completely unnecessary. The entire,
they're trying to do way too much.
They're trying to do more, but you know what they should have done. And it was one thing that I will name drop Tommy Bowers. Not that he's watching this podcast, but the one thing that this the league could have done, and I don't know what you think or if you saw what he had said, was
I didn't.
they. I mean, obviously they already had the layout of this. They're going with the same 4 3-on-3 tournament thing that they've been doing, but a nice change could have been when they backed out of those Olympics to create an Olympic tournament all-star game.
That'd be cool.
Which
do like an Ironman tournament with like a bunch of teams.
Well, I think what it is, it's I think in the Olympics it's 8 nations, right? So however you want to split up the nations, it obviously, a Latvia team isn't really going to work. A China team isn't really going to work because there's just not those amount of players. But they could have made like a European whatever or North American, whatever they want to do to make 8. So really it's just 2 extra games when you think about it. So if it's single elimination like it is now, instead of 4 games, right? It would be 6 games, right? With 8 teams. 4 whatever it would be. The only problem is that it would be obviously the tournament would be longer. I don't know if people would tune in for a longer, already too long tournament, unless they condensed it and like shortened breaks and stuff like that. But I thought that was a pretty cool idea. NHL, obviously, I don't even know if it was a consideration to ever change up the All-Star game, but I thought that would be pretty cool if they did that. But instead, they're looking to change up the skills competition and just trying to get people to watch. I don't know how many people are going to tune in for this nonsense.
Yeah,
what I do think is cool is that they are bringing in 4 special guests for the Breakaway Challenge, it looks like, and some others. Trevor Zegras is going to be there, which is awesome, but also, I don't know, random, kind of strange, right?
That is a little
you just
random,
pick, you just pick Trevor Zegras. I mean, the kid's got, superstar skills, so seeing him in like a Breakaway Challenge would be pretty cool. 2 goalies they're bringing in. Manon Rayom will be there playing goalie.
That's cool.
And also very cool is her son is playing for Quinnipiac, I believe. I just saw a little bit on that. He's very short, I think. He's like 5'9" or something.
Oh, wow.
And actor Wyatt Russell will also be there participating.
Oh, boy.
Nice. Which, if you, for anybody who's watched Captain America and the Winter Soldier, he was a U.S. agent, right? As well as, a couple other roles.
Falcon, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And where was I going?
Kurt Russell's
He was in
son?
that. He was Kurt Russell's son. Yes, is what I was going to say. But also, one thing that I noticed he was in, but just watching it randomly, was This Is 40. And in that movie, Leslie Mann goes to a club, and she actually meets a whole bunch of Philadelphia Flyers there. I think JVR is there. Scott Hartnell is there. Who's the other one?
Isn't
He has no teeth. Is it LaPerriere?
Yeah, I think it's LaPerriere.
LaPerriere was there, but Wyatt Russell was there playing a Philadelphia Flyer, which I thought was kind of weird because he was the only one with an acting part in that scene. The other guys say a couple things, and now I find out that apparently he actually does play hockey, and he just wasn't playing a hockey player randomly in that movie. But that, I guess, could be kind of cool. Jocelyn Lamoureux Davidson will be there as well, and I think there's going to be a couple other additional special guests that they're going to announce in the next couple days. So I don't know. What is this? Pavel Barber is going to be there.
Who the hell's Pavel Barber?
Pavel Barber is the one you see in all those YouTube highlight videos. He does these ridiculous lacrosse style moves. It's he has as nasty as hands. I think he actually coaches skills, but I guess he never went pro because I don't know much about him. I just know his videos, and a lot of the stuff he does is really awesome. He apparently will be there. I guess he was there last year. I don't even remember if I watched last year, to be honest with you. Wait, they didn't have one last year. Wait, did they have one last year? They had an All-Star game last year? I don't remember. This whole COVID time, I don't even remember what the heck happened.
Did, actually. I can't remember.
It says 3 members from the class of 2021 Pavel Barber, Zach Bell, Pete Lennis. I don't know who any of them are besides Pavel Barber.
Or any
So I
the
don't
two
know.
those two Canadian guys that do the funny YouTube videos. The
I
guy
don't know.
that wears
I
the one that wears the Calgary jersey and the cowboy hat.
some of these guys. I don't know. This actually might be. Let's say they'll be in Las Vegas to inspire fans to show off and share their skills. So I don't know exactly how this is going to go down. If I'm free, I'll probably watch it. Which, who am I kidding? I'm going to be free. But I don't know, Schwim. I'm just like so uninterested
for as much as
in
we
these.
like shit on it, we still end up watching it.
Yeah, most of the time.
And just shitting on it more while we're watching it.
And just like, this is so dumb. I'm like, why am I wasting my time with this?
I have two things I would want to see. One, I want to see the breakaway challenge with like all the players going against the goalies. What they should do is have a format for each, like if you score, like didn't they do this in the past? Like if you scored, you moved on, and if you didn't, you were out, and then they got to the last player.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. Yeah, they
think so. I think they did. One, they should bring that back. Or what they should do is have like, I'm all about brackets. They should have a bracket style, like like player versus player, and until we get down to the final two and something like that. Also, another bracket style thing where they can maybe do like a 3-on-3 Iron Man tournament or something like that. Try to get, I guess they could probably do it. I don't know how many people or players are at the All-Star game. Is there?
Well, there's.
I'm assuming there's at least 20 something, right?
The whole. So how many on each roster? It's 8, right? Is it 8, 9, 8 or 9 plus goalies?
I don't know. I forget. But whatever, do like a 3-on-3 bracket style tournament or something like that. I think that would be cool to see. You see a lot of skill, a lot of speed, a lot of most likely scoring and everything. And yeah, I don't know, just something different. Switch it up. Everything's getting so. I don't know.
It is.
So
I mean, it's. There's the fastest skater, which is mildly interesting for some people, even though I think that
now.
Well, also, I think the fastest skaters aren't in the All-Star game because there are some guys that just don't put up the flashy points or whatever, that just fly. Hardest shot obviously is still drawing, and I think that will always be a mainstay because people are just infatuated with these bombs that these guys put.
Who's going to win that?
Accuracy shooting also. I gotta look over that's a good question. I guess Hedman could. He was close.
Could be in that. Maybe.
He hasn't won it yet, but he could easily win it. Ovi,
if Yossi's in it, he's got it. Doesn't he have a pretty hard?
Yeah, Yossi is in it now. Probably. He
could win it. I don't know.
So these are the events. There's the Fountain Face-Off. I don't know if this is the order, but there's the Fountain Face-Off, the Las Vegas NHL 21 and 22, fastest skater, save streak, which is whatever. I mean, yeah, you need something for the goalies, right? Hardest shot, breakaway challenge. Do they say the breakaway challenge in here? The thing about this with the skills competition is like, yeah, okay, you're showing accuracy, you're showing shot power, you're showing speed, but some of these guys are so ridiculously skilled, and I mean, you're starting to see it now with players like Trevor Zegras. A lot of the young guys are really showcasing what they can do, whereas a lot of these, older guys who've been in the league for a while, back when there was that stupid, respect factor that you don't do anything fancy, like the whole between the legs shot that you see so often now. Like if somebody did that, they got mauled in the past, and it's just like, give me a break with that. Like show off your skill. But it was these players were like raised to play with like there's this respect, so you don't do this fancy crap. But now you're starting to see the young players do it, which is pretty awesome. These Michigan goals are always great and fun to watch. But I want to see more of that. Like if you're doing these. I think they had a good idea in that breakaway challenge when they were like they had style points, whatever. But it was the players it was so bad, and it just ended up being like
creative.
Whoever dressed up in costume won the damn thing, but nobody actually did anything impressive, right? I want to see stuff like that, like this insane skill that these guys have with their hand puck coordination and things like that. I think that would be more fun. I don't know how many different events you can do to showcase that besides a breakaway something or other, but I don't know if there's any way to really. It's just for marketing at this point. You got to do it, draw some, but otherwise, I'm just not overall very excited about this again. Mainly, I think they could have done a better job revamping the game itself, because when they did go to this, it was nice, but you know what? It's becoming stale again. So, let's try something new. Hopefully next year, maybe we'll see something new. But yeah, that's for the All-Star game. We don't have to talk much about the All-Star game. It is coming up. I guess Pittsburgh only has one game left this week. I don't know when they actually go on break. Is it Thursday? They actually go on break. The last day games before they go.
When is the break? Is it mid-February? They're going on break, or is it
for the Olympics? You mean? There is no Olympic break because basically everyone's playing
All-Star break.
The All-Star break is this weekend. I think games end on
that soon.
On Thursday. Yeah, it's this weekend already. So games, I believe the last games are Wednesday or Thursday. I can look that up.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you. I'm going to Tampa the end of actually the beginning of March.
Mm-hmm.
I might be going to 2 games. The first game I'm going to is friggin' Tampa Pittsburgh.
I thought they were done.
No, they have. I don't know if that's their last game, but they have a back-to-back where they're playing Pittsburgh Thursday night and then Detroit Friday night.
And you might be going to both?
I might be going to both. I'm assuming they're going to play Vassy against Pittsburgh. I would hope. So maybe I'll just go to that game and I'll be fine with that. But if they don't, then I'll have to get tickets to the Detroit game and go to that game. I might just go to both anyway, but I don't know. I'll have to see. So
very nice. Finally get to go see a game down there.
Yeah, no.
I will be traveling to Pittsburgh in April to see one game. They actually have back-to-backs, 2 home games back-to-back. I did look in. They're playing Washington on Saturday, which is always crazy.
That's always a good game.
The crazy thing is the ticket prices were double from Saturday to Sunday, and it's a Sunday afternoon game. It's not even a Sunday evening game. And tickets prices were very reasonable for that Sunday game. So I chose the Sunday game, but I'll be down there. So while I'm down there, I might look for some cheapo tickets nosebleed or something and just go watch the game or something.
Why not?
But yeah, I'll be 2 rows off the ice Sunday against the Predators. The thing is,
nice.
though, if I do go to both games, I'm not. First of all, I'm not very confident about this Sunday game against Nashville because Nashville is playing very well. Pittsburgh's good at home, and but I have a streak where starting with when we went to go see Pittsburgh Flyers way back in, I think that was Crosby's sophomore season. That's how long ago that was. The games I've gone to in Pittsburgh, they haven't lost a game yet, and knock on wood, they still won't. But I'm already calling that I'm not. I think this is the year that my streak ends. I hope not, but we'll see.
I hope not too.
What else? Yeah, it's always a good time there when we used to go to a group of us too. When I was
what was
just
the
talking
last
to
time
Daniel
all
about
of us went? Was that long ago? When it was me, you, and
10 years
Daniel
ago,
and
easily.
Christ.
I'm not sure that Cody was born yet when Daniel went. So yeah, maybe 10 years ago or so. What else is in the news?
Take another trip there.
Guess what? It's 8:29, and I don't hear anything from William Dean.
Oh, what? Yeah, he said. Well, he's got 1 minute. If he shows up, it just appears on this podcast at 8:30. I think I'm leaving.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it to him.
You just do it by
I'm not talking
himself.
about I won't talk about the Hank ceremony just because I don't think anybody wants to hear about it, and
we didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it, and I'm sure he wants to talk about it because that's his boy. I'm sure it was very emotional. I actually haven't. So the Penguins haven't retired a jersey since Mario Lemieux finally called it quits. But it was already retired.
They should retire
So
Jagers. Like, what are they waiting for?
Well, I think it's the fact that he's still playing.
Yeah, but he's never going to come back
once
to.
he's-
I don't know. I don't think he's ever
once he calls it a
two to Pittsburgh.
Once he calls it a career, I wonder if they'll retire. But yeah, no, I agree that I don't know if that's why they're not doing it, but it should have been. He has to be. Besides the obvious now, will Fleury's will Fleury's jersey be retired?
I could see that.
Maybe. That's a maybe. Obviously Crosby, obviously Malkin, obviously Letang, most likely as well. Even if those two end up leaving. But yeah, Jágr. From before the Crosby, like there's no one else in between. It's Jágr, and then no one until Sid, Malkin, whenever they hang up, hanging up. But yeah, it's crazy that I'm interested. Was it Adam Graves? Adam Graves is the last Ranger. I just feel like the Rangers are always retiring a jersey.
They're going to run out of numbers to like give people. They keep retiring.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody's able to wear any numbers.
I am curious if like anybody, because there are quite a few 68s in the league that have come and gone through the league. None through Pittsburgh since Jágr, and I wonder if anyone has inquired. I just wonder if anyone has ever inquired about it and chose not to. I can't think off the top of my head a player coming over that wore a 68 that changed. So I don't know. I have no idea.
I bet management or somebody would say something if somebody wanted to be 68. They'd be like, "Hey, that's Jágr's number," and then the person would be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I don't want to do that then."
Yeah, because it's not technically retired, but it's going to be retired. So
I wouldn't want to do that. Like if I was going to Pittsburgh or something like that, and like, 68 or I knew 68 was available, I'd be like, yeah, but I'm not going to take that. That's Jágr's number. I would stay away from it, even if that was my number.
I would hope so.
I'd flip it to 86. Why not?
I don't even know who is 68 anymore. Hoffman?
Is Hoffman 68?
I thought so.
Is he like the only one?
It was. I don't know. I thought I saw a couple come and go. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, and I'm not going to look it up because that takes too much effort.
Same thing with 66.
Well, that was Hosang.
Didn't think that number.
I think 66. 66, like Gretzky, I think should be league-wide retired, but that's just me.
I wouldn't disagree.
Tom Petrillo wants to know if they will retire Mark Donk's number. That all depends. He had one good season. We're waiting to see if he can build off of that one good season.
They should retire his name as the greatest name of all time.
The greatest made-up player of all time.
and Bonk.
Radek Bonk and Mark Donk. That would have made up quite a line.
Donk and Bonk. Donk from Bonk. I'd like to see it. I don't hear Sam Rosen say that and probably mess it up.
Scoring
that was ugly. Yeah, he would call the wrong name, and throw a bird or something in there.
How about Matthew Boldy?
I don't know what his problem is. Why would he do? I know he's American.
How well he's doing. And not only that, they're really playing him some big minutes. I think he has 8 points in 6 games since being recalled. And I think that he is staying. Yeah, he's staying. I guess there was I don't know if they would send him down. Was he in the minors? I can read now.
He probably was. And if they send him back, it burns a year of his deal or something?
He has 9 points in 9 games right now.
It's pretty okay.
They're 8-0-1 since Boldy scored in his NHL debut. And he's staying on the roster, and he's looked great. Apparently, he's he's left wing on the third line with Kevin Fiala. First of all, I didn't know that was their third line.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's having a decent year too.
It's been a long. I missed it.
And he could have been yours if the price was right.
Ubaldi?
No, Fiala.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm just not. We're going to talk about fantasy now. I'm not overly thrilled about giving up second round pick just yet, especially since I'm middle of the pack and I'm not really. I'm the third highest scoring team in the league, in the 6th position, but I'm not quite sure if I'm willing to give up draft picks to make a run like I did in football, which I won.
You got some time
I'm going to have a horrible. Yeah, I can think about it. In the meantime, he sits on my IR because I can't drop a goalie right now.
I didn't even realize the friggin' whatever in the league, the trade deadline, whatever date it was set for, it already passed.
Really?
I was like, geez, whatever date they give you when you create the league, it already passed. I'm like, what the hell? That's stupid as hell. So I just went in and changed it. I made it for the end of the month.
Yeah, that is quite dumb.
So we got plenty of time to wheel and deal. Pecker's trying to get Jack Eichel from me. I have him stashed on IR currently.
Yeah, he might. I don't even know if he's going to play. Well, I'm sure he will because Vegas is going to make a push for the playoffs. But they still say he's quite. I don't think they're not as confident about like his return date. They don't think it's that soon.
I don't know.
From what I have heard, I didn't realize that Lindy Ruff is Alain Nasruddin is coaching the Devils right now. As Lindy Ruff's father passed away.
Oh shit!
Yeah, at 88, the ripe old age of 88.
Our condolences, Lindy Ruff. Wonder what his dad's name is. Did they say what his dad's name is? To name his son Lindy? I want to know what his name is.
Lesson Ruff.
Lesson,
like a lesson,
L-E-S-S-O-N?
like a school lesson, like a bio lesson, like a lesson plan.
And Lindy. Okay, interesting. He's probably a cool dude to name his kid Lindy.
I wonder if Lindy is short for something also. I'm not sure.
Damn, Blue Jackets came storming back.
Is that sarcastic?
No, I'm serious. I think they were losing like 5-1. Now it's 5-4.
Wow. Look at that.
God, look at them. Yeah, 5-4. Holy crikeys.
So we passed the midway point of the season, right? Here's a question at left field.
Go.
Who's going to be the worst team in the league?
Well, Arizona and Montreal are making really good cases.
Yeah, they actually are. It seems like they're really battling for that last spot, like actively trying.
I can't see Arizona not finishing last. They get like every time I see their score, it's them getting smoked. Like I've never. When I see them win, it's like few and far between. But every time I see like a score of who's ever playing Arizona, it's a lot to a little.
Yeah, I got to watch.
I don't really huge sellers at the deadline, so I can't imagine they get any better after.
But like beyond Chikrin and Kessel, like I don't know what else they're gonna sell or who has any real value.
Clayton Keller, maybe.
I mean, why would you? I mean, you just gave up Connor Garland, who was probably your best offensive player on that team, for Louis Eriksson and the ghost of all these other players who used to be good once upon a time. But
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the hell they're doing. That's why I don't think. How could this team not finish last?
Speaking of, and now that we're talking about them, and it's just refreshing my memory, this whole fiasco with them potentially relocating to Arizona State ice hockey arena, because they just can't. Apparently, they can't get an agreement to build a new arena, and they can't get any sort of. They can't get in on an arena. So I guess their last resort now is that they might go to Arizona State, which seats 5,000, but in order to accommodate an NHL game, it lessens to 3,200 for 3 to 4 years. Sam, you're not saying anything.
Unmute, Sam. Unmute.
You're wagging your finger. You got to unmute yourself.
Could you imagine Shane Wright being in front of 5,000 people his rookie season. Actually, not even 5,000 people. 3,200 people.
Is Dean joining us via telephone?
I think it's through telepathy.
Right, and it is amazing that Arizona State is going to house an NHL team and be and possibly have the number one pick, and then next year having the number one pick as well in Connor Bedard, and you have them playing in front of college crowds.
And they'll still suck. They'll get these 2 number one picks, and they will still suck.
Yeah.
Well,
it is.
And it sucks. I feel bad for those kids if they go to that team. I really do.
Well, on the other hand, Connor Bedard is immediately going to play. Maybe Shane Wright is like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to stay in wherever the hell I'm playing.
Like hold out and refuse to be drafted by them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could get that. It has been a while since you've been that, but who on earth? You're right. Who on earth wants to be drafted
wants to play for Arizona?
Play for the next?
Nobody wants to go there.
In general, yes. But on top of that, who wants to who imagines playing half the season in front of probably not even 3,200 fans, because it's going to be a joke. But I don't know how they claim any revenue from ticket sales. No idea, unless they're like 3,200 apiece.
On top of that, they're most likely going to have to overcharge fans that probably don't want to be there anyway, and be like, hey, you want to come and, pack this little tiny Arizona State, college hockey arena. And by the way, the owners would have to ship out about $20 million to upgrade this arena, because the visiting locker room's a dump, and they don't have a weight room, which is requirements by the CBA. So these owners that are cheap as it is would have to dwell out $20 million to make it so that a visiting team can come and play.
It's almost it's embarrassing at this point.
Can I say something? Maybe there's some savings here that we didn't think of. Maybe they don't have to pay property taxes.
And this is once again Bettman being like, I need to make sure that this Arizona team survives, because it's the one thing that I've continually nudged in this direction. And I'm sure he has something in the back burner, because if this Tempe arena doesn't get approved, what is he going to do? I mean, there's nothing else other than going to, play in like Houston on a temporary basis and becoming the Expos, where they went down to Washington for a little bit. And then finally baseball's like, all right, fine, you can be the Nationals and F the Expos. Like, it's amazing how bad that this has been just messed up continually.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a joke at this point that it's, and you can make whatever jokes you want to about this decision, because, Arizona pretty much draws 3,000 people to games now. That's obviously an understatement, but
I think they made $500,000 in the month of January. $500,000 is what they made in profits from the game. It's insane to me. There's obviously something else happening as to why they're trying so hard to keep this team in Arizona, and it's such a failure. And the roster between the scandals that have been happening, which is embarrassing, because your organization is already embarrassing, and you're doing stupid things like that. And on top of that, they ship out any good talent. They have no one in the pipeline. And where I was just basically going to comment before, I remembered all this stuff. I watched Vejmelka play, and I give him a lot of credit, because nobody, and I'm sure he never expected in 1,000 years, he'd be a starting goalie for the Arizona Coyotes for this season, or maybe ever. And he's so completely out of his league. But I do give him a lot of credit for sticking in there and really, giving it his all every single night. But it is so obvious that he is just not an NHL goalie. And this is their number one guy with no one in the pipeline. No, nothing. There's just nothing there. Feel bad
and
for him.
they could draft well, but mainly they're
not going to. We know they're not going to draft well.
This whole arena fiasco is just it's unreal.
It's going to be fun to watch. Yeah.
You know what the real question is? If they have these games at this 5,000 seat arena, whatever the hell it is, what is the price of like food and beverage and a ticket tickets, food, beverage at the place going to be? Our beers could be like $47 for them to try to like make up like the
do
cost.
Do college? I don't even know. Do college arenas have? I mean, obviously that they'll upgrade.
They would have
to
upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, which that's why the 5,000 seats are going to be reduced to 3,200.
Like crazy to try to make something.
Oh yeah.
But there's no way anyone's going to want to go.
Rich in order to go to this game.
No.
All right, so I apologize because obviously I was not able to make the podcast on air. But do you guys touch base on Sergei Zubov having his number retired Friday?
I was saving the retirements for you because you had a big name to talk about there.
We forget his name though.
So
who was it again?
Some schmuck. But first of all, Sergei Zubov, number 56, retired by the Stars on Friday as well. He played 12 seasons in Dallas, won the one cup in '99. Obviously made the playoffs 10 of 12 seasons, which is really an accomplishment. 549 points, 839 games with the Stars. He never won the Norris, which is actually, first of all, damn you, Lidstrom and Leach for stealing Sergei Zubov's Norris trophies. But
yeah, it's just bad time.
A lot of defensemen back then.
Yeah, he did become third twice and was a nominee 12 times, which is an awesome accomplishment. So Sergei Zubov, former Ranger, was fantastic in that cup run in '94.
Penguin.
So obviously, for one season, which he did not play very well. But the number one guy I wanted to come on quickly and just talk about, Henrik Lundqvist, Hank, number 30, retired by the Rangers on Friday. And I know you guys, don't like the Rangers, but retired in August after undergoing heart surgery. He's the winningest goalie in franchise history and the winningest European-born goalie with 459 wins, 64 shutouts. He's the fastest in league history to 400 wins, the 205th overall pick in the 2000 draft. He's the 11th player in team history to have his jersey retired. He played all 15 seasons with the Rangers. Screw the Capitals. He ranks
I'm glad he never played for them.
Yeah, thank God. He ranks 6th all-time in wins for goalies and holds more than 50 Ranger records because the Rangers suck. But he's the only goalie in NHL history with 30 wins in each of his first 7 seasons and 20 wins in each of his first 13 seasons. And the only reason he didn't hit 30 for 13 straight is because of the lockout. He Vezina winner in 2012, 5-time nominee, won the Olympic gold for Sweden, which is why they call him King, which I agree is dumb, but that's why he's called King. 2006. Now, this is for us because I'm about ready to throw Shorts guy off our inline team. He won the 2006 World Champion inline hockey game. So I think we need a new hockey goalie for Bone Storm / Toothless. And
call him up.
Lastly, he's the most handsome goalie of all time, and he's currently an MSG studio analyst. So Henrik Lundqvist, thank you very, very much for 15 years of awesome hockey, and pretty much the only reason we made it to a cup final in 2014.
Pretty much, he is the only reason why you did.
Yeah. No, I mean
he's the only reason you had any playoff success.
Oh yeah, I mean we had some good players, but I mean when your goalie stands on his head and has ridiculous playoffs. There's that stat that Tom before I head out. There's that stat that Tom said about the whole Ranger, the Capitals Penguins where he won the same game, Game 7 on 5-13 for 3 consecutive years, and he basically stood on his head in Game 7s. I mean he's fantastic. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and talk about that. Obviously, you guys talked about Kane, I'm sure, and this whole grievance thing, but
we haven't yet. But
yeah,
I'm actually kind of tired of talking about Kane, to be honest with you. I'll just let him play.
Yeah, scored a goal his first game, so good for him.
He's back.
But,
he scored a goal.
Still tired. Yep.
He sounds completely unapologetic, which nobody is surprised.
Yep. Well, I will talk to you gents later on. Thank you for doing the podcast. Sorry I was late. I have to go pick up my daughter real fast and park hockey. Unfortunately.
Did you guys win?
No, unhappy loss. So.
Oh boy!
If you rewatch this podcast, right in the beginning, I called that you weren't going to be on it, so you did make my prediction come true.
Well, but technically I am on, so I'm half right.
You're also half wrong.
Half right. All right, Sam, you can butt me out and talk about how great the Devils are.
You can mute him at any point.
Adios, boys.
Later, Diener.
You know what we should have had? We should have had like a flustered picture of Dean in the corner and saying live via phone conference, and just have a ridiculous looking picture of Dean.
Yeah, or that video looping when you found out that the Rangers had the first overall pick.
Oh yeah.
Just something to embarrass him even more.
Or the shirt off. And that was Darnold, right? Wasn't that a Darnold celebration?
No, that was
Lafreniere.
Lafreniere.
When he took his shirt off for the Jets pick. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely
the Jets
Sam
picked,
Darnold. Yeah.
It was Darnold, right? Who's obviously he regrets that now, but it is forever ingrained in our brains. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Vander Kane. I'm over it at this point. He came back, he sounds like he doesn't care at all, and he's not going to probably. So he's talking about he wants to fight Jeff O'Neill, and it's just like, what? Give it a break. Jeff O'Neill said, I don't know where Jeff O'Neill was coming up with this stuff, but most of what Jeff O'Neill was saying was fine. He gave his opinion on Evander Kane that he needs to, focus on himself and bettering himself and whatever. And then he mentioned something about bettering his relationship with his daughter, which I don't know where that came from. I know that there's obviously some family issues that's going on with Evander Kane. I don't know what the details are about it. And obviously there's allegations and who knows what's actually true and what's not. My problem is, he reacts to it, which, fine.
I think that's
but,
justified. You don't talk about a guy's family. Leave his family out of it. They have nothing to do with it, really.
Agree.
Just talk about him.
What he said was kind of pretty innocuous, in my opinion. He needs to focus on his relationship with his daughter. He didn't, name specifics, name the daughter, whatever. Yeah, that's completely uncalled for. But, it's his reaction is just I wish he was still playing because I wish I was, I don't want to put, I'm obviously not quoting because I'm just trying to remember what he said. Something about fighting him and this, that, and the other thing, and he just seems completely unapologetic of everything that has happened. And I don't know. You hope that the guy can. He's obviously a great hockey player. You hope that he can be a better person, but only time will tell. Again, I don't know that he helps Edmonton, but we shall see.
No, they won
the game, right? Yeah, they won one game. They put up. I think they won 7-4 or 7-2 or something like that. So they won pretty handily.
Remember I told you that Columbus came back in that game and made it a 5-4 game?
Were you lying to me?
No, but now it's 7-4. They scored the next 2 goals.
Another 7 goals by Florida. I don't know how many 7-goal games do they even have this season. It's a lot. A lot.
I wonder what the record is. Actually, they're probably not close to the record because of all those old teams, but still.
Yeah, no, but it's they're scoring in bunches and bunches.
This is crazy. They're gonna have that season like Tampa did, friggin' dominate offensively and then come to the playoffs and completely shit the bed.
I'm just my only question mark again is Bobrovsky, but he looks
good now.
He does. He's having a great season, but his Vezina Trophy winning seasons, he was terrible in the playoffs. It was just a complete night and day, and usually in the first round matchup. But I don't necessarily know why. But he actually had a horrible season last season, and continued that into the playoffs, and then having a great season this season. So maybe he's changed something. Coaching, whatever, I'm not entirely sure, but that would be the only thing I can see that could potentially prevent them from being successful in the playoffs. Because what I know, I witnessed it last year, what a goaltender can do to a team that plays that badly. But, at least they have a backup option in Shane Knight who can easily take over and, do well.
I think.
I don't know. I don't know how far
now.
now. I don't know how far Spencer Knight's going to get now with that. If Bobrovsky's playing well, and two, he's got that huge contract. Even if he's not playing well, how the hell are you going to move that contract? So I don't know. Spencer
and for
Knight's
a long time. So
when
is he going to be? When is he going to be the guy? Is he going to get a chance to be the guy, or is it going to be not until he's in his late 20s?
Yeah, he could be shipped out possibly to try to acquire. I don't know, other assets. I don't know what you do with them.
They could, but is it a good idea? I don't know that they can. I don't think they can do anything with Bobrovsky unless they buy him out. But if they buy out that contract, they're not going to anytime. In the next 2-3, unless he falls off a cliff next season again, and they just need to get rid of that contract immediately. That's still a lot of money for a lot of years against the cap.
That's very that contract is very handcuffing, and I don't know. I mean, they're banking on him being like a lights out, and he really. I mean, he's been good this year. Don't get me wrong, but overall, since he's come there, I mean, could you go as far to say he's underperformed to this point? I could say that.
Yeah, since signing, you mean?
Since signing, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at last season. Last season was a disaster.
It was huge. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's. Oh wow! They just missed it. Detroit just missed an open net, and I think it was former Tampa Bay Lightning Vlad Nemestikov. God damn it!
That's what I was saying about Detroit. Is you take Nemestikov for instance. Detroit has good young players, very good young players, and just random, not so good vets. You got Nemesnikov and Mark Stahl, and I don't even remember who else I saw on that roster. But
they're a weird mix of good young talent and weird old talent.
Speaking of good young talent, before we sign off, just a quick nod to the LA Kings. I know that we have been talking for prospects and where teams rank with their prospects. LA looks pretty good. They have some areas of tweaking, but their turnaround and their young guys look legit.
Yeah,
and obviously are going to develop into better. Quentin Byfield looks good. He has to, mature a little bit more, but already looks real good. Trevor Moore looks great. He scored 2 highlight reel goals against Pittsburgh last night. Looks like a natural goal scorer. Lizotte, great. The one I can't remember the Dursey, the defenseman, also looks really good. Mm-hmm. They're a good team, and they're going to be good. And those helmets are, it's horrendous. Vegas had theirs, and it was ugly as hell. Yeah. And then they saw that, and you're like, let's do the same thing, but with silver. And
looks like they're wearing tinfoil on their heads.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, we wrap it up. Schwim, this drawn and quartered is amazing. I give it a 4.25. I don't know if I've had it before. I gotta check that.
You're welcome.
I don't even. What the hell are you drinking? Oh yeah, the main thing.
The main thing that I think might be skunked. I don't know. I had this. I had not this beer, but I had this beer. I think that time we went to Eddie's Roadhouse. Back in, I think that was 3 or 4 years ago.
Good.
That was the first time.
Main Brewing Company makes solid beer.
They make good beers. I gave this a 4 back then, so I'll stick with that.
All right. Well, sign us off with something clever, please.
Oh God.
For once. He loved it.
Let's go with that.